What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to another Monday live stream. Let me get my stuff ready. Of course, as always, I forgot something. Today I forgot to plug in my mic. So, hold on. Better out of the shot. And oh, forget to close the door. We're all wishing for better acoustic, as always. Acoustic treatment is there. Microphone is there. I'm not really hearing myself as loud as I'm used to. Are you guys hearing me okay over there? Are you guys good on YouTube land? Hello, the Netherlands. Hello from Canada, as always. I'm not moving much. I try to stick around Canada as much as possible. Hello, Matt from Poland. Really loud and clear. Thank you very much, Dale. I'm good. What's up, Pancho? How you doing? What's up? I said Dale, Matt, Gerdo. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry, man. I'm probably gonna butcher that every time. Gerdo. Is it Spanish? Is it? What's a Netherlands accent? Good question for me. Is that beer in your glass? Oh, it could look like a stout, right? It could be like... Well, actually, this is the... this is the trick. It could be a Guinness, or it could be a coffee. Your guess. Guesses are open. But no, today I said I'm going to freak you guys out with a clear mug on the console, because why not? I'm still working on the coffee mugs, by the way. Those of you who are interested in having some funny coffee mugs, I'm gonna have something. Well, I have planned something. It's in the work. It's just not ready yet. It's not up to my standard of quality, what I'm finding so far. So I want to give you guys a good product. I'm not here for quantity. I'm here for quality. So that's my targets, my goal. Let me, before I forget, put my phone into do not disturb mode. That way, we're gonna have a good time together. No pop-up on my computer, no pop-up on my phone. Nobody, like my friend Simon's calling me during my live stream, like he always do. For some reason, he's understanding that I'm busy on Monday at 1:30, but he never know. Well, you'll always plan like an hour or 45 minutes after, and we're never done here. So he called me every time, just for fun. Actually, I should have him as a guest one day on the show, just for fun. Let me check something. As I'm moving my microphone around, I just want to make sure it's not in this shot, because today we're going to use a lot of this shot. No, it's not. It's good. All right. Salut, Fred. Really good question here from Poncho. Does being left-handed cause any problem with mixing board or mixing? I would say, okay, it's like a piano. You need both hands to play with it. It's a guitar, an electric guitar is a different story. A bass guitar is a different story. But when it comes to mixing, I don't mind using my right hand to do the custom control and always having, I'm always running 8 fader at a time with the DCAs. So pushing the lead vocal with this finger or this finger doesn't make a lot of difference. But I understand. Actually, I would say the wing is probably more left-handed than right-handed. Forget the channel strip detail section, forget all that stuff around here. I'm never going to use it anyway, right-handed or not. I always end up on the screen and touching the screen. It's on the left for me, so always ending up on the screen here, always doing my stuff there. And no, I would say the final answer is no. I don't think it's a big issue. No, Not for me, not for the wing. Are you left-handed, Pancho? Are you one of those guys that find it hard? Because honestly, other than having your main out on the right, not much happening here. Okay. Now, let's get to the core. I've been already yelling at this console for 5 minutes. Let's get to the core of everything that we're gonna take care of today. I'm gonna close my iPad notification here. Today, I'm gonna leak some stuff. This may be costing for me, but not much happening. Nothing huge happening. No new. Okay, let me tell you right away. There's no new plugin. This is mostly bug fix. But one thing that I want to check out that has to do with Dante, with the new firmware on the wing. That's going to be released soon. It's not released yet. I know Fred asked if it was released. Leaks are good as long as it's not coffee. Totally agree with you, Dale. It's just to give you an idea what's coming up. No, I cannot give you the firmware. I'm sorry. This is a beta version. This is not a release version. Let's see. It could have bugs on it still. It's a bug fix, but sometimes, try to fix some bugs, create some more on the other side. So it's not ready yet. It's not fully cooked, but we can take a look at it. I have some note, not everything. I know I got a lot of fuss the other day because people said that I had a release note. I do not have the release note. I have some note for some stuff to check out with the firmware. And I'm also translating in the sense of I'm reading some note and I'm not giving you the full in-depth information of what's in that document because it's not public. I'm taking a lot of risk here. Maybe burning myself to have access to these files even. So please bear with me. This is a first look. I never looked at this before. This was made available over the weekend. And we'll see what's happened with that, but it's not public. This is beta version. It's not public. This is some stuff that I want to check out with you guys because I don't have other time in my week to spend on the console, look in depth into this, but good thing for you, good thing for me, I'm having a live show every Monday at 1:30 every week of the year where I can try to look at this because I spent some time on a console and together, not just myself, together we can take a look at some of the new stuff. You guys have some idea, you can send me some idea, some stuff to look in the chat. I'm always looking at some stuff that you guys says in the chat, and we can try to find some bug, fix them before the official release, and together, you and me, can make this console a better thing for everybody around the world. Okay. Are we going? Are you guys ready? Let's take a look at what we got. I'm gonna go here. We're gonna go and set up. This is not in focus. This is now in focus. We're gonna go into setup. We're gonna go in general. And we're gonna try to do a firmware update from here. Okay. Actually, we're gonna do a video together right now. This is going to be in the wing quick cut that I do. Quick cut meaning a wing quick tip that I'm cutting out of a live stream. So welcome to a quick cut. Some people asked me the other day because they had problem. They crashed a console basically and their USB was not registering correctly. I'm talking about the one on the right corner or top left corner here. Sorry. If you cannot turn your console on, if you're having a problem with the firmware update, it crashed or you run out of power or something, and you cannot plug a USB in there, or it's not registering, you can turn your console on in test mode. I have a video about that. I will link that in the description or as a card somewhere here. And turn your console on into troubleshoot mode or Vegas mode, call it whatever you want. Plug a USB cable in the back and it should appear as an external drive on your computer. It should be working for Windows and PC. If you got that on, you can replace the firmware file that is in there with the current available one from the Behringer website, and you can transfer it, eject the disk, make sure that your console is good, turn it off, turn it back on, and it should work correctly. You should be able to save a crashed firmware update. Now let's see if my iPad's gonna crash. Apparently it's running out of batteries, so maybe it's gonna be another fun one of these live stream where I end up with no prompter. We'll see what happens. Worst case ever, I'm gonna grab my other iPad, if you guys will excuse me later on if this one crash. Sorry. So that was it for the quick cut. This is useful information for you guys if you have a crash doing a firmware update. You can also do the same thing by manually coming here and access the Wing OS partition and the data partition. You basically mount one of the two drive on your computer, and you can copy your file from there. You can do a full show file backup of your console that way. Plug the USB in, click on one of these options. It will turn the audio interface design of the USB off, so the audio interface won't be accessible while you're in one of these two mode, but you will have access to the internal drive that are in the console. So if this is helpful for you, save your show file, replace your firmware. All these options are available from the menu. Other option that is available from the menu is always to use. Okay, that's a good option, Fred, to do. But what I like to do for my firmware update is load the USB key in my top console here, and I'm gonna press update here. I have some other weirdo stuff, and I have the unreleased, as of yet, firmware 1.13.8. Don't look on the Behringer website yet. It will be available soon, but don't look on the Behringer website yet. It's not there as I'm filming this. So I'm gonna press it. We're gonna press the update button and we will see what happens. Go update. It should load. It should let me talk to you guys while it's loading. After that, I will need to do a reboot. I'm gonna miss sound while I'm doing this, but I'm sure that I want to do a firmware update. Let me grab some coffee. A few comments about the file 1.13 update. I lost all my scene on the console when uploading. It was a bummer. Lucky saved to USB stick. Actually, your file were probably not lost. I'm gonna show you where they were relocated after that. Also, when loading scene file from old console, the latest firmware had to reassign mute group in DCA. This is really weird because that never happened to me. Maybe it's gonna happen now, but I took some file from 1.12, load them into 1.13, and they just load perfectly. No DCA, reassign, nothing. Everything was working. So let's do a firmware. I'm gonna switch to the beta version. I wanna say this is not a public version. This is a beta version of 13.8. Let's see what happened with this. Update complete. Please shut down and reboot. All right. What I like to do is shut down. It will mute all the audio stuff, and I will do the trick here, the 2-button press to reset it. I think we had a successful update. I do not hear my background music, but maybe it's just on my end. Can you guys hear me on the live stream? Do I have control over my camera? Yes, I do. I'm probably just gonna need to go into my OBS here for a second for me to hear background music. And I think you guys still hear it, right? I think I just need to do monitor off and bring it back on again. Nope, not working for me. What's going on here? Background music is still there for you, but I'm not hearing it, and that's bugging me. Hold on. I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna go default here in OBS. I'm gonna apply that. Go back to the wing. Apply that. Doesn't seem to work for me. I think honestly it's an OBS problem, not I think it's an OBS problem. Mic's a little bit louder, should not. Should be the same thing. Well, I'm gonna have a live stream with no music coming from me. Or maybe one last thing I can try is to reset the audio interface. Also, by the way, this is a really cool thing. If your computer do not register your console, I'm doing this all the time on X32 for some reason. I have to reset the audio interface, meaning I have to change the amount of channel in and out. Hey, 1, 2. Is it working? No, it's not. So sometimes I have to do this. I'm changing the amount of in and out. What's up, Alan? Thank you very much for being a member for 2 months. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for everybody that subscribed as a member of the channel or even super member. Thank you. If you are a super member of the channel, by the way, don't be afraid to request your 1 hour of free consultation with me every month. It's really up to you to decide when or schedule fit together for a one-on-one conversation together if you want to have help with your wing, if you want my opinion on something. I'm there for you, my super member. If you're not a super member and you need help with your console, feel free to reach me over my email address, which is in the description. And I have a fee for that if you want to have like one-on-one video consultation where we together look at your stuff, or I'll help you out with your wing. Up to you if you need some help. Also, in the description right now, I have now affiliate link if you want to buy a wing, if you want to buy in-ears, because I released a video about Behringer in-ear last week. Was really surprised by the result of it, by the way. Those in-ear perform really close to the Shure 215. So if you guys want to grab a pair of the Behringer is the SD251CK, which is the clear version, wired. I did not look at the wireless Bluetooth one. Not my thing. I need a body pack, a good strong signal of body pack with no latency. So I did not look at the Bluetooth one. Sorry, but even if you want to grab a pair of the Bluetooth one, click on the link in the description. Grab it for yourself. It's the same cost for you, but Amazon just throw a couple penny my way every time that you guys buy something off of my link. Absolutely no cost for you. It's just to, because I link you their way, they send me out a couple pennies every time. So take some money off of Amazon, put it in my pocket instead. What's up, Neil? Greeting from North Scotland. Hello from Canada. So here we are. We are now live on Firmware 13.8, which is a beta version. I cannot put enough emphasis on that. So, in the note that I had with the release, or not really the release, with the note that I have from the dev about this one, it's adding a couple things and it's fixing a lot of things. Let's start with the fix that are happening here. I cannot show you, sadly, the document that I have, but I'm gonna hold on. I'm having a hard time here scrolling with that pad here. So, come on. Okay. It fixed the combinator FX slot 6, 7, 8, 14, 15, and 16 were affected by the FX's change. And some other stuff that I will skip for now. So if you had problem with your combinator effects in one of these slots, it should be fixed, or it's going to be fixed, because sometimes right now it's not really reflecting well. So that's going to be changed eventually. EQ bed type box redraw, so new EQ redraw there. AES50 device IO guide, so frame size could be too large. This is a fix, or it's going to be fixed really soon. Issue relating to the Wing Live session list in Copilot, so it's going to be good. It's going to be fixed next firmware update, and issue relating to Wing Live link session. So I'm guess this is when you have two SD card plugged in the card, so that's going to be fixed soon. Okay, some change. Snap restore dialog in red color, so let's take a look at this. It's going to be in the library, and if I want to change, let's say my snap here, snap, is it here? I don't remember. I'm still not used to the new firmware. So if I want to go this and I go, is it recall or restore? That said here. Restore. So if I go restore here, this is now in red. Okay, so they changed the color of that. And the first time open library with snap sub page control select. Okay. They now, okay, cool change. Noise reduce when changing sync clock source without changing sample rate. So if you were using, let's say, your internal and you want to change to your Dente card, the clock changed and I did not hear anything. So apparently this is a bug that was creating some snapping sound or something. It has been fixed. So let's go back to our internal. Perfect. Internal sync is working really fine. What's going on in the chat here? They need to make an RTA EQ overlay for the channel, bus, and graphic EQ on the Copilot app. We also need way to tap tempo to what? Hold on. My chat window is not centered. We also need a way to do. Oh, is there no tap tempo available on the Copilot app for now? I'm not using Copilot. I tested it just for fun. I know it's working, but I'm not using it at all because when I go out with my Wing, I don't want to use an iPad. This is what I bought a console. I have the luxury to have a X32 core in a rack. If I ever need to go iPad, I just go with that. It's a 1U unit in next to my DL251, so no problem there for me. So this is why I'm not using the Copilot app on the Wing. Okay, what else for the fix? That's pretty much it for the change. Okay, and for a change, the CC button to show send page now allow specific settings into sandbox. What would that mean? So, okay, let's take a look at that. Do we have more option in the custom control. Page send. No, this is a rotary knob, so I'm probably need to change one of these. Is it fader page? Setting to a specific bus, a sand bus. To a specific sand bus. So we need a wet dry control for the FX track stuff in the custom control page on the wing. I think I know for sure that request went to the dev. I know it's on the list. How high on the list it is, I don't know, but I'm not the only one. I requested it myself, and I'm not the only one who did, so it's there. Maybe there's some other stuff that needs to be, prioritized over this, because as much as I would like to have that feature, bug fix, and maybe some other stuff, I would prefer if they work. I would prefer if they work on other stuff before that. Just going to be my answer to this one. Fred said, can we create a new layer? We can always create user layer if that's your question, but now I think we have access over the custom control to those layer, because right now from my view page here, I don't remember fader page being in the list. Don't quote me on that. Sometimes I'm totally wrong on these things. You guys go like, it's been out for like 2 versions. I never had to use it before, so this is why I don't remember every option available in the custom control or on the console at all. Because honestly, let's be real honest here. When I'm mixing a show, I'm selecting a channel, I'm having a tap tempo and FX on and off on the console, and I'm dealing with the channel strip only. So if it's not on the channel strip, if it has nothing to do with the patch, probably not gonna use that much. Seriously, what I'm dealing with most of the time is this screen right here and my main out EQ. The custom control are really useful when I'm doing my live stuff, like I'm doing right now, my live broadcast, when I can switch the camera like I'm doing right here, and other stuff that I'm doing, but I'm not a studio guy. I'm not doing a lot of virtual sound check, even if it's really easy to do with the custom control. I'm mostly mixing bands with these things. I'm mostly mixing inner monitor with the console or other console, and if it's not in the channel strip, if it's not a plugin, chance that I'm using it daily are really thin, other than on this live stream here with you guys, because we're looking for those small stuff that has been changed, but I'm not in the know. I don't remember every single detail of this console because I'm driving a couple different console every week. I'm weekly driving the Wing. I'm weekly driving X32s. I'm weekly driving TF1 from Yamaha. Other stuff that can come across my hand if I ever need to could be running an XR on an iPad. It could be, so I don't concentrate myself on a single console. I'm using a lot of console every week. Just to be clear, just to be out there, and because I know some of you guys like to complain that, oh, this has been out for like that long, and like, sorry, I'm having a hard time to keep up because I'm just a sound human. Sorry, took that one out of the Dave Rat book. Being a sound human, this is what I do. And having, honestly, between 3 and 5 gigs a week give me a lot of time to spend on other stuff, or push me to have a lot of time spent on other stuff that mixing mixing in post, mixing stuff and producing videos and stuff like that. So like last week when I produced the inner video where I spent like a total amount of like 15 hours on this thing, filming, editing, doing the test, rerunning the test because I was not happy with the first one. So cut me some slack here, guys, please. D'accord, Fred, je comprends. Très belle utilisation. Okay, so some of the new stuff. Let's go back to where we were with the firmware update. I'll try not to be too boring here, guys. So there's some added stuff that we can now take a look at if I can get my freaking PDF to stay at the same place. Okay, good. So, added stuff. Hold on. It's about the jug wheel. What can it be used to? It can be used to change between scene when you're holding down show control. Okay, let's see if this is going to be a disaster or not. I'm going to move my coffee out of the way because I don't know what I can recall by accident here. I'm going to, before that, save my show file, or my snap file, as I should say. Here, I'm just going to save that in that Wing show. I'm going to open that show and I'm going to save. So go save new. I'm going to call this one Monday live stream, not Wing live stream. Monday live stream. Save. Now, if I hold down, the show control knob, and I'm moving the wheel, is it allowing me to move to do some stuff? Is it how it should work? Wheel can be used to select scene when show control button is held. So I'm holding down the show control button. It doesn't seem to work on my... This one changing with the... This is the knob next to the screen, by the way. So if I'm holding down show control... And hold on, I'm gonna press go on this one. We recall the scene. Nothing happening on my end, so maybe I got that wrong, but I believe the wheel, or is that on edit, wing edit, maybe? I don't know. Okay, what else is new? Option to use cursor button and wheel to select edit screen parameter. So that's definitely on wing edit. This is not on the console itself. The CC button option to show specific fader bank. Okay, this is new. So apparently this is a new option to have specific fader bank shown. So you can probably, oh yeah, with a single click of a button now, you can basically have access to your DCA or other stuff like that, or other layer maybe that you can pop out in the center section. So it will be cool. There are a lot of options when it comes to fader bank. It's basically everything that is available in the console. So I'm gonna guess you can have that happening everywhere. So it's another way to have custom stuff happening with the console. So in your center section, you can probably, with a single touch of a button, pop a bank of 8 fader, which is really cool. Let's see, just for fun, let's say if I want to have my 1 through 8 popping out here, I made a custom control for that. Right now I'm on, let me go here. Right now I'm on the bus. I have my drum channel 1 through 8 here on that fake show file. I'm gonna go back here where my talkback is. I'm on layer 37 to 40, and if I press the new button that I just created, it's gonna pop that in the center. Really interesting, really cool feature. Really cool feature to have if they ever release a smaller version of the console. Just saying, I have no information about that. but really nice, really cool option. That way you could have just this part of the console with just a screen on it here, and it could eventually give you access to all the file here, all the layers, not just like awesome idea. I don't know who came up with this one, but you deserve a coffee. You deserve to have a beer on me. Really cool feature that I love with the custom control. Thank you very much, sir. What's going on after that? Manual configuration of console ops. To register or unregister an internal AOP module. So the module will be something like an internal Dente card. Start a console with the utility button pressed. Okay, let me look. Is my Dente card still registering in the input? My Dente card seems to be there. Here, and it's here. And if I press here, can I have it on in and out? Okay. And it seemed to work because right now I'm outputting my main out to my Dente. It's not connected to anything really right now. Well, it's linked physically, but I'm not using it. I'm using USB over audio still in OBS for this broadcast. So maybe an interesting thing that I would need to dive into because there is apparently some change, or there's going to be some change to register or to apply internal Dente card. But if I understand the added feature correctly, it will detect it right away the first time it's going to see it. So I hope that's going to be helpful for you guys. So that's pretty much it for what we got new with the firmware, other than some bug fix that I mentioned later and some change that I said. But it's mostly to play nicer with Edit and the Copilot app from what I understand. So no new plugin, no new firmware, it's just certain bug fix. So that's really nice. Any question? Anybody in the chat that saw something happening here that I didn't notice on the screen that has been changed that I didn't see on the screen? Yeah, John's a dream. Yeah, exactly. I'm at the same spot as you. I want to have a wing rack. I want to have a cash register. I probably pissed off some people at during the NAMM show at Midas because I commented on the Midas post. I was expecting to see a cash register because we all need some air, you know. And I think my post got deleted because they did not release the air this year at NAMM. So probably next NAMM, maybe next year. Have we got our preset channels back yet? Really good question. Let's take a look at this. I don't see much new stuff here. But, okay, before that, I don't remember who before said, is it That's a Dream that said he lost all his file when he did the update. Your file were not lost. Let me show you. And I just lost my iPad and my chat. So if you guys want to give me a second here, I'm just gonna pop up my phone so I can see what you guys are saying. Whoa, not this. I want to go on YouTube and watch my own video. How funny is that? No, I don't want to watch Call Me Chris, even if she's really, really funny. I don't want to watch you right now, Chris. And I'm gonna open up the chat. So, okay. Hey, what's up? Telegram Road Tribute, Dire Straits. Welcome. Hold on. Okay, I'm back with you guys. Reading the phone instead of the prompter. Any word on when or if we might get crossfade time on Snapshot Recall? I know you can do it with one of the software from Patrick Gilmayo. If you go to x32ram.com, x32ram.com, he's got a software that can allow you to do this right now. It has to be run from a computer, but it will basically average in between two snap file, as I understand. I've never used it myself, but I know some people does in the Facebook group. So please go check out the website if you need that feature right now. That feature coming to the Wing itself, I don't know for sure yet. I know it's been requested. I don't know when or if it's going to be implemented, but probably. Let's be honest here and say most of the time when we request something, the dev put it on the list. It's just a matter of prioritizing some stuff before others, because bug fix must go on before anything else. After that, extra feature, sometimes it's really easy, sometimes it's really hard. It takes a lot of coding to implement that into the console. So it depends. It depends on if it's really easy. It's probably doable, probably not easy, but you can probably, they have, as you can see here, they have more space in that area, and that's probably for some other stuff. We'll see what happens with that. Let me close some stuff on my computer. And okay, let's go back to where I was before I answered that question. If you updated from 13 or from 12 to 13, forget about the dot something here, and you do not find your file, is because they are here. They are in library, show file. Oh no, is it global? Global, you have your channel preset and stuff. Everything that you had before is saved here, and your snapshot would be all the file that you had. So if you updated from 13, if you updated from, okay, I want to try to put this into a quick cut again, because I like to do those smaller video. They make it really easy for me to edit. So let me go with that camera. If you updated from firmware 12 point something or before 13 to 13 and up, forget about the dot and everything, all your file are there. Everything that you had save is going to be in library global snapshot, and you did not lost anything. The only difference is when you open up the console on the library for the first time after the update, you will see this screen here where you have no file on that disk that are saved. So it's the only difference. But you did not lost everything. Of course, I will strongly recommend you to do a backup of all your stuff before updating, because you're not, you can have a crash occurring. It can happen. So please be safe and do a backup of your file before updating. Thank you. So, let me see what's going on here. Current scene, show library preset scene. Do you have anything else? Preset? No. I try to follow two conversations at the same time, and it's really rough. Okay, channel preset. Do I still have my channel preset here? No, I don't. Effects preset. No, I don't. Nothing. Probably because it didn't have a lot of stuff saved there, honestly. Yeah. Not much happening in my show file, honestly. The way I work, up to you guys, the way I work is just, I'm taking a show file, load that, and that's it. Everything for my band, my in-ear mixes, my everything is in there. If this is not how you want to work, more than fine to have multiple snap or multiple part of the snap that you recall per show or per band. But my approach, it was more of a pain in the butt than successful. Seriously. Okay. I really need. I know. I'm hearing Rob in my head telling me that I need to put some foam into those spring for that boom arm because I'm running. Let me show you. I'm running a boom arm from Rhodes, and that boom arm from Rhodes has some really strong spring in there, and they are really tight. And when I bump, they just ring out. So I'm going to try to avoid doing this for your ears, guys. I'm really sorry about this spring interruption. And I'm going to go with a question if you guys have some. If not, to keep this stream entertaining for the people that watch in post. Sorry, coffee doing his job. If you guys have anything that you want to ask me, it's now time. Otherwise, I'm just going to turn the stream down in a few minutes because I just want to keep it entertaining. I just want to keep it fun to watch, and I don't want to go 3 hours like I used to for no reason. Well, not really for no reason, but I don't want to go over too long of a stream because apparently when I go over an hour and a half, less people are watching the streams. Unlike the stream from last week where you guys watch a lot, I have like 1,000 views on this one. Thank you very much for everybody that was there last week and is still with us now. Thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate when my number go up like that. It's really fun to have 1,000 of you guys watching that stream. I don't know how many of you are watching, right? 30 right now. Really cool. Thank you very much for sticking around with me, with us, with this community, because let's be honest, we are a wing community. We are a live aficionado community, more than just a single console. Thank you very much, guys, for sticking around every week. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. This is all I'm asking from you. If you are now watching this, is give the stream a like. Subscribe, ring the bell if you want to get the notification when I go live every Monday at 1:30. And also, if you want to support me becoming a member, I've said all that stuff before. You know the drill, member. But more than welcome to have you as a member of the channel. If not, just watching and give it a like is all I'm asking. Thank you. Okay. Intermixes are the main reason that I can't use the new show snap feature. Oh, can I ask you why, Dale? Because really interesting. Telegraph Road Tribute Dire Straight say still no 31 band on 31 band on fader. I don't get it. I think I've went over this before, but why would you want a 31 band on fader when you can have a 31 band on screen? You can create yourself a custom. Actually, you would need to set up a custom action for you to have the 31 band on the fader. Why can't you just have it on screen? We're debating here. We're having a conversation. Feel free to let me know. But honestly, I prefer to have this on my screen. If there's a feedback occurring somewhere, I can just go like beep and moving that up or down. And the screen is honestly really forgiving. You don't have to be like dead on to raise the right frequency. So on fader, I don't know. I prefer to have the 31 band in front of me than just 8 in front of me. You know what I mean there? Do you think do you think the wing will ever have that regain function? What is a regain function? Is it like an automatic gain like we start to see? I saw a new interface that has that, a sound interface from Audient. I'm a really huge fan of the Audient stuff. Sound interface wise, they are, I believe, the most durable and sound quality one that you can have. To an affordable price. I mean, it's cheaper than an SSL, but you have really good preamp. I'm driving SM7Bs with them, no problem, no background noise. And really stable, really hard material made interface. It's made out of metal. I don't even think it's aluminum. I think it's made out of steel. It's heavy, but man, they're working good. The driver are really stable on Mac OS, so really double thumbs up to Odeon, but they released a new interface that has a auto gain feature. Is this what we're talking about? We change gain up, it's turn your send down. Oh, okay, I get what you mean. I don't think I want to do that. Doing a lot of monitors, I don't think I want to have that. Seriously. Because when I'm changing the gain, usually it's because everybody asks me for more of something. Otherwise, I do not. When I'm doing monitors, and I was there 2 days ago, changing, one of the bands that I'm touring with, we do not carry. We have a small digital organ, like a B3, but like on a smaller keyboard, like a 2-octave, 3-octave keyboard. And we don't carry the DI for that, so we're changing the DI every time. And yeah, not everybody was not happy with that, so this is why I changed the gain on it. But otherwise, I never changed the gain of something. I would write the fader lower, or I would send more to everybody. And sometimes, it happened before, but sometimes I will turn the gain up when the player that won that thing has a fader pretty high. I will like bring the gain up and just like quickly slow it down to bring it down to everybody else. But most of the time, I do not play around with the gain when not needed. Once they're set, and they pretty much sticks in stone. Stick in stone. I leave them there. Don't touch again. Can we save and load channel preset again? I'm sorry, Matt. No, this is not going to be in this one. But well, actually, you can if you want to use library and you want to just do a partial recall of a show file. You can have your channel recalled there. So you just go partial recall. How you do that? Load partial. You just select what you want to recall from that scene. So if you load your channel effect, your special channel for this one, and you go just recall, let's say I'm gonna cancel none. I say, hey, I want channel 29. I want my config. I want everything here. I want all the stuff here changing for that, except maybe the main send. And main send, it depends on which one you want to have for these. Or the send, I want all of them except bus 2. You could do that kind of recall here, but just say I want just that channel. No, it's not there yet. So I'm sorry. It's gonna come eventually, I guess. So they want to expand on the system, but the workaround or the new way to do it would be to go this way. Just do a partial recall of a channel that you have on a separate snap file. Sorry, I'm trying to read. I cannot recall how to set up a user signal for my PC after a firmware update. I lost a signal path. It seems okay. So if you want to have, it's going to be a really quick one here. If you want to have your user signal sent to your computer, what you do is you go into your output and you select here your USB audio interface. Anything that you want to use. So channel, let's say that you want to go all your channel or like 17. Let's take example 17. I want to have my USB audio 17 sending out my user signal 1. Just go like here and unlock their patch. Don't do like me. Unlock your patch. And right now I'm sending out this way. Sending out my user signal 1, which is my kick. To assign what I want to have in my user signal, you just go into source. You're gonna go into user signal, which is here, and on input 1, you're gonna select your kick. So you're gonna assign a signal here. I want my kick. Boom. This is how you set up a user signal, and this is how you sending out to USB. It needs to go output, USB, output group, select the one that you want to use, select the source for that output to be user signal 1, or any other user signal. I hope that was helpful. Danny, in setup, there's an option for tap flash with the choice being off, A time on. What does A time on do? Really good question. I remember seeing this. Let's take a look at this together. It's in, you said, is it in general? Where is it? Not in DAW, not in remote. Is it on surface? It's on surface. Do I have a tap tempo somewhere? No, but I can set one up. We're gonna go here, we're gonna go A time, and we gotta take an effect. Do we have a reverb, a tap tempo? Yes, we do. On bus 2, let's create on layer 2, effects parameter, delay, no, delay. Where's the delay? Stereo delay. Time. I now have a physical tap on my console. So I'm gonna go back into setup here. I'm pressing, you probably cannot see it, right? So right now I'm doing it and it's really slow. Let's go with flash on. When I tap it, it goes like really on time. If I go A time, it doesn't do anything. If I go on that effect, the screen, oh, you cannot see it because my face is on the way. Let me try to turn that camera down. Is it this option to turn the, can you see it right now? This is how I tap. It's a really slow tap, but will it change if I set up to on or off? Let's go off first. Let's see if something happened when it goes off. Come here. No, it's still flashing when I'm on that screen. My okay, my custom control doesn't flash anymore, so that's what it's affecting. If I go on, my custom control now is flashing. If I go A time, it does exactly the same thing. It's just flashing on time. And if I go off just for fun, it just disappears. So if I understand correctly this function, it doesn't seem to work, which is plausible. I just could not tell you why, but no, apparently this thing doesn't work. This thing doesn't work at all. Okay, let me see, what question did I miss? Okay. So I build 10 snap during recall, during rehearsal, and then on the day of the show, I have to make change to ear and recall. Any snap would destroy that. No, because you can do some partial update, Dale, on this one. This is why it's a complex setup, and I usually never use snap file for in-ear monitor because people stop to listening and they stop to play around with dynamic. Personal opinion, don't do that. If you have to, just be careful and do your file update. So you load your snap file for that song, that part of the show, you update it, you go to the next one, you update it, you go to the next one. This is how the system is built. This is how it used to be built on Pro 2. We're staying in the same mentality here of the Midas stuff, the X32 stuff. The wing is really in between the X32, the Midas stuff before and after the Pro 2 and the HG96. It's the same mind behind those software, I believe. I don't know that information for sure, but I believe it's the same mind and it would make a lot of sense because those consoles using the same principle, the same background idea for the scene recall and stuff like that. Neil say we have many musicians and have channel strip that save for each one. we can't use the new firmware until we get the channel preset back. Actually, yes, you can if you do exactly what I just do with the partial scene recall. Just create some snap with your musician on there and just do that update for those musicians. Sometimes you could need regain. Yeah, so sometimes, but most of the time you don't about regain. Sorry, I'm trying to read what's happening in the chat. Any news about Stagebox firmware update? I believe they're out. It's been a while since I've looked into this because I'm only using a 215 and I'm not driving it with the wing. I'm driving it with a X32 core that I use for musician, and I'm only go out of the core into my wing, so that way I can have the USB interface from the core that can run everything and send all the extra channel that I'm not using from that AS50 line. I'm using those for USB most of the time. I can go up to like 10 channel of USB sometimes on the show, like 5 stereo backing track. So I could do a X32 maxed out to 40 channel using, let's say, 30 XLR and using 10 of the USB. And after that, sending all those 40 plus to me at the front, using a single line of AS50. But I did not upgrade my patch box because if it's not broken, don't fix it. Everything is working for me right now. Don't need to upgrade that. It's working fine. I'm good. Thank you. But I didn't look for it, but probably out if it has to be out. Go take a look at the Behringer or Midas website. On the right side of the web page, you'll see all the software stuff. So if there's a new firmware available for the patch box, download it. It should work right away. You can't use a partial recall to restore a single channel except the channel it was originally on. Okay, I would need to take a look at this because I believe you can do. I'm thinking about a way of doing it, so I would need to take a look at this definitely. Oh yeah. Andy, I'm reading your comment here about gain structure. I definitely need to do a video about that because it's been, I don't know why. It's been a nightmare for some of my friends right now going out on shows, having sound engineer mixing with gains. I don't know who released a video or to what school they've been to that said you need to mix with the gain, but every time that I have to substitute myself with somebody else younger, or I let the house engineer deal with the band because I'm too busy and I have too many shows, I'm running with too many acts right now. When I let the local engineer go with my friends, they 75% of the time, I don't want to say 100, 75% of the time, they end up with an engineer that makes the show with gain. And this is a total disaster for them when you are running in-ear monitors. In the sense of, once you have your mix dialed in, and the house engineers start to play around with gain at the front, this is affecting the level of everybody, not just the room. If you want to play with the level in the room, this is why we have so many fader on the console. That's true for everything. If you're not clipping your preamp regularly. And nobody's complaining about anything. Don't play around with your gain knobs. Leave it. For real though. Leave it. Let it be. Even if it clips like one time, because the drummer go loud on a snare hit and it clips one time. Don't bring that like down by 10 dBs, because you just turn the snare off and everybody's here. If a singer goes loud for a song and he's not consistently clipping, don't turn the gain. Because if you turn that, you create a funny reaction. And this is something that I seem to understand, and a lot of sound engineers out there don't seem to understand. If a singer is singing louder at the show than he was at the sound check, and he's not asking you to bring his vocal down in his in-ear, and he's not gonna go like, I want my vocal mic down in my in-ear, don't change the gain. Bring the fader down, add compression that is post-send, but don't go there. Don't play with the freaking gain. A lot of my musician friends will thank you for it. And a lot of your musician friends will thank you for it. You don't have to. The way that it should be done is after a while or the second sound check, say, I want to do a sound check. I'm going to bring the gain down a little bit the second time, and you're going to raise that level again for everybody that wants to have vocal. Because, okay, where I was going with this is, if you are turning the gain down on the singer that is singing too loud, if you turn the gain down, you just drop the level everywhere. You drop it in the room, yes. Your compressor compressed less, yes. But the singer in his ear cannot hear himself anymore. He's going to feel like he's been totally cut out, and he's got to sing louder. Same thing for your drummer. If your drummer is too loud and you turn the gain down, he's going to play louder. He's going to play freaking louder. Because once the show starts, he's going to get used to that volume really quickly. And if you bring it down, he will be totally destabilized as a human being performing. You don't want to do this. Okay. Let me get back to the chat, because I could go about this one. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna read what's happening here. Okay, Neil got the answer for us. What's happening with the 8 times? So it flashed 8 times, then it stops. Okay. Thank you. I don't like that feature about the tap tempo. The CC only flash 8 times. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm not reading you guys in real time this time because my prompter is dead. So I cannot go as fast as I would like to with you on the chat. So ooh. Heads up, I can plug my SD8 into the Hub 4, 1-4 output with, I'm gonna guess with no damage. Yeah, gain mixing is a no-no. Totalement absurde, Fred. Je suis complètement d'accord avec toi. Mixing with gaming, a moron. Yes, but I see it happening all the time, guys. You take time to set the preamp, the head amp correctly. Will fix most issue right from the start. Yes, if you have a good gain structure, let me repeat that, if you have a good gain structure from the get-go, and you have, I call it juice. If you have juice on the fader, and you don't need to run it all the way up, it's fine. You don't have to mix with your fader at 0. This is actually an approach that I had in the beginning. When I started, I had all my fader to 0. And I was doing with the gain, setting up my level with the gain. I run into some problem with that. First, I could not get enough levels sometimes for the monitor, In mixing that way, sometimes I did not have enough volume riding the fader up or down. So big no-no. Well, not big no-no. If you are doing only front of house with your console and you're not dealing with monitors at all, meaning that you are not sending out signal to monitor or in-ear monitor or a broadcast, if you are on your separate split end of your snake, yeah, you can do this. No problem. But you're probably going to run into some problem with compression. You're going to have your threshold all the way down, and you're going to have a hard time getting compression going. If you ever want to use compression, it's going to be a nightmare for your gate. So to get a good workable signal is key. After that, you can enjoy like having your fader at 0 if you want. And on the wing, especially on the wing, let me show you something. Especially on the wing, you can go here. You can go into your send into. I'm going to use a channel. You can use this panel here to set the amount that you want to send to front of house. So if you want to have your fader at 0, like I'm running right now, I'm going to put my fader here to 0. You can have the best. You can have the best of both worlds, meaning that you can get some really loud level coming in. You're reaching out a steady minus 18, even plus sometimes. You can compress that, and you can set your fader to 0 and create basically your mix here in your main send, and it will be like mixing with the gain with all your fader at 0. It's an option. I do not suggest you to do this because you're going to end up sometimes with a fader that far in, and you gotta say, I don't get it, my gain is really loud and I get like no volume even if I push the fader. It can happen. So I would not use that approach, but if you really know what you're doing and you really want to go that route, well, you have the option to do it. So it's your call at that point. But yeah, don't do that. Mixing with gain is moron, and it's not me that's saying it, it's Donald 397. Changing gain during shows can provoke severe feedback if you don't know what you're doing. If you go up, yes. Sometimes I do with band that I'm not so used to. In monitor, I can crank a little bit of gain, and I'm talking about like 1 to 2 dB. But usually, if it's not clipping, don't play around with it. And if it's clipping, just bring it under like 1 or 2 dB. You don't need to. If you really have to, be subtle. Just go 1 small inch down. I'm going to translate that one from Fred. Personally, if I'm missing gain level, I use the comp gain or other option that are available, because on the wing itself, you have a lot of option. Well, this is exactly what I'm doing here with my no stressor. I'm running the gain fairly high. Actually, I'm running this microphone with the gain pretty much all the way up, and I'm doing everything else with the compressor. But because my tap point, and I'm going to go here, because my tap point is before that, if I ever want to send this into a monitor, my compressor output gain will not affect the signal going into in-ears or monitor. That's my preferred approach for mixing. That way I don't compress musician. If they want to be dynamic and get louder, they will get louder in their ear and on stage and not in the front of house mix. That way I can control their dynamic, but they could be dynamic and try to mix themselves a little bit, and I can like bring them back into that, I like to call it the wave, the brick wall of sound that I like to send at front of house. So they can be dynamic as much as they want. I can be as compressed as much as I want, and nobody is affecting the performance one of another that way. My personal approach. What else you guys are saying? You guys really going out in the chat. Really appreciate that. Really good thing here from Fred again. Sometimes I use the track 25 to 40 to do split. He's basically splitting the channel and mix the drums to a user signal to not Bus envoyer un user après pour ne pas affecter. Yeah, but I'm always using the monitor. I'm always sending to pre, but yeah, it's a good option. Do a split. Doing a split is also a really great way to have more flexibility on your stuff. The only thing that you're stuck with is to have the same gain, the same input gain. Thomas said SD8 and SD16 firmware version 1.4 dates from the 30th of September 2020. It's been a while. I'm surprised that there's no update on this one. It's probably going to come soon. Maybe less popular, so this is why they cut down on it a little bit. Maybe it's going to come after, but I must say that I'm not aware of the SD8 and SD16 firmware. It's been a while since I've looked at these stage blocks. Seriously. Do you set your reverb and delay on... How do you set your reverb and delay on the wing? Do you insert it pre or post fader into an insert on the bus, then return it to aux channel? What I do is I set up my... I'm going to come back here in my bus. Let's go here and here. What I do is I create a bus that I send to the main out. So I create, this is like my reverb bus. I create a bus that I send to the main out, and I'm using, sometimes on delay, I'm using pre-fader. On reverb, I'm using post-fader. Send into that bus, and I'm sending that out straight into the main out. I don't see any reason to do otherwise. I'm not the kind of guy that usually EQ is effects return a lot. I try to get it right at the source, and I try to work with a lot of the effect itself. Do we have a delay here by any chance? No, okay, let's insert. It's on bus 2 right now. Let's move my delay. What I usually do if I want to EQ out my delay, I use the low cut and I cut inside the delay. So on delay, I cut like really down, like 2.5 K, and on the low cut, I'm not afraid to go to 200, 300. It goes up to 400 on the low cut if you really want to, but 250 is my starting point. And when I want my delay to sound like really like this, like repeating like a tin can, I just do it on the effect itself. There's no reason for me to leave it in the effect and EQ it out after. I just do as much as I can on the effects. Same for my reverb. If I want to use, for some reason, my reverb is on bus 8, I would like to have that here. Plate, usually if I'm on a bus, this is set to 100%, so it was probably inserted on something. And I'm gonna adjust like the reverb time. I'm gonna adjust everything on the reverb itself. Again, low cut here. If I ever want to low cut that thing, I can go up to 400 again. Usually on reverb, I just put low cut. If I really need to EQ out something like specific in the reverb, I will do it on the bus. This way, the way that I'm using the setup right now, because I'm having a bus that sends post fader, because this is a post fader insert, everything, all the signal that I would send would be affected by the EQ that I have here. So I will excite less a frequency in that reverb if it really is bugging me out. If you want to do it the other way around, well, actually I could just go here, having a pre-bus, a pre-fader insert on that bus, and because I'm post-fader on my reverb, it will work, but I could use the EQ on this, but usually I don't EQ out my effect, if that answers your question. If musician need reverb to return to inner monitor, exactly the same thing. Just go like this, and in the effect. I don't say it never happened to me, but usually I don't have to deal with more than 8 people on stage, so I would run my first in-ear into 8, bus 1 through 8 for my inner monitor, and I use the other one for my effect and everything else. And if I really want to short it down, I would put my reverb for snare on as an insert on the channel and use that as the snare is going to be wet for everybody approach, and usually people are happy with it, so no complaint here. You can also do the same thing if you are doing monitor. I would suggest you to have If you're doing monitor to make everybody more happy, you could have an insert on the channel strip itself for a vocal, for reverb, and design the reverb for the person that's going to listen to it. Because when you have like a lot of singer, having their own personal reverb is going to be a must for them. You're going to win a lot of point. I call them callback points. So if you're doing that kind of stuff, the chance that they will call you back is really getting higher. So basically, that's my approach when it comes to effect. Be as custom as possible, and don't be afraid to try out some stuff. It's really up to you to find your way to do. To approach effect, because effect is really the way we can express ourselves as a sound engineer. I try to be coherent with what the band is, but most of the time I just go out and I do a lot of stuff on the effect. This is when I'm playing with effect during a night, it's because my mix is going the way I want to. Can you briefly explain Ultranet P16 setup, or you have a video on the subject? I do have a video on the subject, and it's been released not that long ago, where I explain how to take some input from the wing and send that out to P16. Go take a look at that, but I'm gonna go quickly by saying it's all happening in the routing section. You want to go into output. You need a stage box or anything that can convert AS50 to Ultranet, going out Ultranet from the stage box. For you to send out signal into the Ultranet port, you need to use your output group AS50A 33 and up. So let's say that you have 33 here. There's going to be input 1 of your P16 all the way to 16, and you can basically select anything in that menu here and send it to your P16. So it could be a USB return, it could be another input, it could be your user signal, it could be your effects, it could be your bus, it could be a lot of option here for you to send into your P16. And I almost hit that damn coffee mug. Maybe one day I will drop it on the console live, and I hope to get enough view on that one to buy a new console. Okay, the EDM is it's a log curve, yes. To get the most resolution of the analog to digital conversion, you want the source gain to be as high as possible without clipping. You don't need to, but yeah. Yeah. You don't need to. I'm gonna say you can be around -18. It will be fine. Gerald, please respect the non-French speaking people. English, please. I'll do my best. It's just okay. Maybe I didn't explain that before. There's a French speaking wing group where I post my videos. All my wing videos on my live stream, and I've been clear with them that if they ever need to ask me a question in French, it will be a pleasure for me to do so. I'm sorry for all of you English-speaking people or non-French-speaking people here. I just try to be as inclusive as possible. Please do not see this as a disrespect. I'm actually trying to please them because sometimes some of them do not speak English. Actually, I would do at some point a only French speaking live stream for them, but yeah, I'm sorry if it's bugging you. Trust me, I try to translate as much as possible when it comes to question in French, and I'll do my best, but don't worry, I'm not gonna switch a lot. I think today is the time that I spoke the most French on this live stream, so really apologizing for that, but please don't be offended. Don't worry. I'm always going to switch back to English. Don't worry. I'm trying just to read where you guys at. Check out Regain in Mixing Station. It explains how it works. No, I understand how it works, Poncho, but definitely get why you would need that feature, but it's not something that I needed a lot, but I understand why. And you can also have the same thing happening. Let's say, I think it's Yamaha that is doing this. You have a fixed gain stage happening where you can set the gain to one console, and if you have trim adjustment on the other hand, if you, let's say you're at the monitor and you're doing the gain, if the front of house console set the trim to something, or if you move the gain, the trim will move accordingly, so that way you don't have subtle change of volume at front of house. So I understand why some people would like to work with that feature, but to me, it's never been a must. I would agree it would be fun to have it. It will be, is it in the console when you go into setup in remote? If you enable some custom stuff there, maybe there's a way for us to have this feature enabled. Auto trim adjustment and auto bus adjustment, maybe. So if you are more than one console on the same AS50 line, you could say that one console is gain master, and once you adjust the gain for something, you will trim the other way. So if you go plus 5 dB or plus 6 dB, you will go minus 6 on the trim. Maybe it's an option. Maybe this is something that we can look at. And on that note, it's been almost an hour and a half today. We had a good run. And the older I get and the more coffee that I drink, the more I have to pee. So I'm going to be quick to sign out on this one. I really appreciate your question, guys, by the way. I'm reading them with my phone right now, so I don't want to be disrespectful and not paying attention to you. Trust me, I'm paying a lot of attention to you right now. So on that note, I would say thank you, everybody who have been here with me. I really appreciate the comment. And Jado, please, I was not offended at all by that. I know you didn't mean that in a negative way. We're all is well for me, my friend. No bad feeling here. This is what I want to say. No bad feeling. Community, I'm going to say it this way. Community, thank you for being here with me, with us. We had a good time together. It's always fun to spend my Monday afternoon with you guys. And I'm looking forward to spend the next one with you guys. Maybe some news, maybe some stuff coming in. Quick note. I started to talk with a distributor about maybe some product reviews, so maybe I will have some fun tool to play around with on video or on some live stream. So on that really positive note, guys, thank you very much for being here with me, and I'm looking forward to see you next week, and I want you to take care of yourself, and I will see you really soon. See you.